equations related to convection through free end. That is, we derived the stiffness matrix as well as the force vector. So now we'll see the application of the same through numericals. So we are going to deal with the composite slab problem. So it is nothing but there are n number of walls connected to each other, then it is called as composite slab. So we want to calculate the temperature distribution across the composite slab. So the best example would be the furnace. So if you take a furnace, it has multiple walls starting from inside layer to the outside layers. So how that temperature varies from inside to outside, that we can determine by using this FEA approach. So I am taking one example where there are two composite slabs attached to one another having thermal conductivities K1 and K2. So this is the problem given. So I'll just read out the statement. Determine the temperature distribution through the composite wall subjected to convection heat loss on the right side surface with convective heat transfer coefficient as shown in the figure. The ambient temperature is minus 5 degrees centigrade. So in the figure you can see this is the composite slab given. So there are two slabs attached together. One is having thermal conductivity of 6 watt per meter degree centigrade, and second is having thermal conductivity of 20 watt per meter degree centigrade. At the same time, if you see the boundary conditions that are specified in this composite slab are, so at that is left side end there is a temperature T1 specified as 20 degree centigrade, and at the right side there is a convective heat transfer, that is nothing but there is a convection with the convective heat transfer coefficient of 1000 watt per meter square degree centigrade. So when we formulate this as a FEA model, we have to consider effect of both conduction as well as convection. So in the first element only conduction is there, but in the second element if you see, as there is a convection on the right side, because of that there will be two stiffness matrices together, that is one is due to the conduction and another is due to the convection. So we'll solve this problem. So first we'll formulate the FEA model for this. So as you can see there are two slabs, so I'll consider this as my first element and this as my second element. So when I represent this as a one dimensional element, what I'll get? So it is a single line having totally 3 nodes. So 1, 2, 3. So this is my element 1, this is my element 2, this is T1, this is T2 and this is T3. Similarly, if I take the length of this particular element as L1, or this is already given, it is 0.06 meters, and this is L2 which is 0.02 meters. Okay, so this is the FEA model. So the same you can see in the figure I have drawn. So I need to just determine the values of T1, T2, T3, that is temperature distribution. Already we know the temperature T1, which is nothing but the specified temperature boundary conditions. So now what I'll do, so I'll consider element wise and I'll derive or I'll calculate the stiffness matrices for element 1 and element 2. Okay. So for element 1, already we know the equation for stiffness matrix due to conduction, which we have derived. So stiffness matrix K1 is given as, so it is by LE, so it is, I'll just write K1 A1 upon L1, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay, so this is for node number 1, that is temperature T1, temperature T2, T1, T2. So these are my global degrees of freedom. So if I substitute the values, what I'll get? So K1 is 6 watt per meter degree centigrade. As this is a pure case of one dimensional element, we take area of the given element as 1 unit. So K into 1, length is 0.06, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So after solving, I'll get this as 100 minus 100 minus 100 and plus 100. So this is for T1, this is for T2, T1, T2. Okay. Similarly, I'll calculate K2. So I'll just erase this. So for element 2, so K2 is given as K2A2 divided by L2, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Now if you see, the temperature at this particular element are T2 and T2, or node number 2 and node number 3. So again, these are global degrees of freedom. So substitute the values. K2 is how much? 20. Again, as it is a pure case of one dimensional element, area we are assuming it as 1 meter square. So 1 divided by 0.02 into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So if I solve this, so what I'll get? Thousand minus 1000 so this is T2, T3, T2, T3. So these are the stiffness matrices that we have derived due to conduction. So if I combine this, therefore global stiffness matrix, it is not global actually, stiffness matrix due to conduction is nothing but K is equals to K1 plus K2. So if I add this, just see here, it will be of order 3 by 3 because there are 3 nodes. So obviously the order of the matrix will be 3 by 3. So at 1 1 location it is 100, then 1 2 minus 100, so 1 2 only present in that matrix, then 1 3, so 1 3 is not there, so it is 0. Similarly 2 1, it is minus 100, 2 2, so 2 2 100 is here, plus 2 2 1000, so 1000 plus 100 it is 1100, then 2 3, so 2 3, so 2 3 is here, minus 1000, then 3 1, so 3 1 it is not there, so it is 0. So as it is a symmetric matrix, so you can make use of that property and you can complete this matrix. So this will be minus 1000, 3 3 it is plus 1000. So this matrix is only due to conduction. Similarly, if you see the figure, in the given figure, there is a convection specified at the right hand side. So due to that convection, there is one more stiffness matrix that will come into picture. That is nothing but the stiffness matrix due to convection. So we'll calculate that also, and then we'll add both the matrices, that is both the stiffness matrices due to conduction as well as convection, to get the global stiffness matrix. So I'll calculate that also. So for element 2, why element 2? Because the second element, which is nothing but, so I'll just again draw and explain. So convection is specified at this particular end, correct? So this end is having convective heat transfer coefficient. So obviously this element is nothing but, if I take this as node number 2, this as node number 3, this is my node 1. So between 2 and 3, I need to calculate the stiffness matrix due to convection. So that is only present in element 2. So I'll calculate this. So I'll denote this as KH, and for element 2, so KH2, I'll write it in bracket so that there will not be confusion. So it is given as, already we have derived this, A into H, 0, 0 and 0, 1. So this we have derived. So what are these node numbers? This is T2, this is T3, this is T2, this is T3. I'll just substitute the values. So A is 1, H is 1000, 0, 0, 0, 1. So if I take this inside, what I'll get? 0, 0, 0, 1000. So this is T2, T3, T2, T3. So now I'll write the global stiffness matrix due to conduction and convection. Therefore, global stiffness matrix that is K is equals to, or I'll just write K dash is equals to K plus KH. Okay. So what is K? We have found out 100 minus 100, 0, then minus 100, 1100, minus 1000, 0, minus 1000 and plus 1000, and this plus, so again I'll write it in 3 by 3 form only. So as if you see the KH stiffness matrix, so 1, 1 is 0, so I'll write 1, 1, 0, then 1, 2, is there 1, 2 present? No. 1, 3, again it is 0, 2, 1, so it is 0, 2, 2, 0, 2, 3, 0, then 3, 1, it is not present, so it is 0, 3, 2, it is 0, 3, 3, it is 1000. So when I add these two matrices together, so what I'll get? So K dash will be, so I'll add directly. So 100 plus 0 is 100, then minus 100, then 0 plus 0 is 0, then again minus 100, then 1100 plus 0, it is 1100, and minus 1000 plus 0, it is minus 1000, and 0, minus 1000, and this will be again 1000 plus 1000, that is 2000. Okay, so this is the global stiffness matrix that we have got from the by combining both the matrices, that is stiffness matrix due to conduction and stiffness matrix due to convection. Now the next step is to get the force vector. As only convection is mentioned at the right hand side, so obviously the load vector will be present at the right hand side. So therefore force vector due to convection is given by, so I'll just calculate that. So already we have derived this formula in the last FH is equals to, so A into H into T infinity 0, 1. So again this is T2, this is T3, because convection is present in the second element where the node numbers are 2 and 3, or the temperatures that are specified are T2 and T3. So A, as it is again purely one dimensional case, we are assuming A as 1 unit. So 1 into 1000, what is T infinity they have specified? It is I think minus 5. Yes, it is minus 5 T. Then 0, 1. So what I'll get? So this will be 0. So minus 5000 into 1 minus 5000. So this is 2 and 3. So therefore global load vector F is equals to, so it is F1, F2, F3. So these are nothing but node number 1, T1, T2, T3. So apart from the convective heat transfer coefficient, there is no load that is acting or no heat transfer mentioned in the slab. So F1 will be 0, F2 again it is 0, F3, so you can see here F3 is minus 5000. So this is my global load vector. Now I'll apply the equilibrium, that is thermal equilibrium equation, and I'll calculate the unknowns, that is nothing but the temperatures. Now using finite element equilibrium equation, that is K dash into T is equals to F. So already we know the K dash, so I'll directly make use of this K dash what we have found out. So it is 100 minus 100 0, then minus 100 1100, then minus 1000, then 0 minus 1000 2000, and temperatures are T1, T2, T3 is equals to F1, F2, F3, so which is 0, 0, minus 5000. So now I need to solve these equations. So you can see here, I'll first. Okay, so from this matrix, I can write these three equations. So 100 T1 minus 100 T2 plus 0 T3. So it is the same matrix I have represented in terms of equations. But as we know, in the case of elimination method, usually we delete a particular column or row depending upon the specified boundary conditions. But here, the specified boundary condition is in terms of temperature. So if you see this slab, so T1 is specified as 20 degree centigrade here, and along this slab we need to find out the temperature distribution. So what we used to do is to delete as this is being a node 1, so we used to delete the first row and first column because the boundary condition is specified at node 1. Here also we are making use of elimination method. Same way we need to delete the first row and first column. But the change that we will be introducing is that because this value of temperature is not 0 or this is not fixed, we cannot directly eliminate first column and first row. So what we need to add by making use of this T1, there will be change in the second row of this particular matrix. So what is that change? That I'll just explain. So from equation 2, I can write minus 100 T1 plus 1100 T2 minus 1000 T3 is equals to 0, or 1100 T2 minus 1000 T3 is equals to 100 T1, or 1100 T2 minus 1000 T3 is equals to 100 into 20, because we know T1 value as 20 degree centigrade. So this will become 1100 T2 minus 1000 T3 as equals to 2000. So now we can delete the first row and first column of the equilibrium equation, but the force vector of second row will change it to this value, that is 2000. So if I just see here, if I delete this column and this row, so what is remaining is 1100 minus 1000, then minus 1000, this is also minus 1000, 2000, temperatures are T2, T3, but the force vector, now this value I need to introduce in this. So this will be 2000 and this will be 5000. So now I can solve these matrices or the equations, and I can calculate the values of T2 and T3. So after calculation, so after solving I'll get what I'll get T2 is equals to minus 0.833 degree centigrade and T3 is equals to minus 2.99167 degree centigrade. So therefore, if I want to write the temperature distribution or nodal temperature vector, that is nothing but T is equals to T1, T2, T3, so it is 20, then minus 0.833 minus 2.9167 degree centigrade. So this is the answer for that temperature distribution.